on our review for today is another big event that went down this week in Lagos, Nigeria. Talking about the Omniverse Africa Summit 2025. The event, which took place at the Landmark Event Center in Victoria Island, Lagos, was set to unite key players from technology, finance, culture, government, and the private sector. Organized in partnership with the GIZ/Digital Transformation Center DTC Nigeria and the Innovation Support Network ISN, the summit was a transformative experience for thought leaders, investors, policymakers, and innovators from across Africa and beyond. Let's take a look at some sights and sounds from the Omniverse Africa Summit 2025. Wow, amazing atmosphere right there. These are the things we love to see. Of course, lots and lots of conversations we have had, and of course, insightful conversations from panel sessions to keynote speeches and fireside chats all through the 4 days of the conference, talking about the Omniverse Africa Summit 2025. And we'll be giving you a few highlights from these sessions right now on the show. Speaking in one of the panel sessions, the founder, Blockchain Nigeria Group, Chimezie Chuta, pointed out that there's need for diversification and how AI can be scaled massively. Let's take a listen to Chimezie Chuta as he spoke on the event.
The opportunities are quite much, but I feel the sentiment in this room is a little bit dampened. How many of you guys checked your wallet this morning? It's not looking so fine. Yeah, Chika, I can see your hand there. You took a look at Bitcoin is below 80,000, right? Okay. It doesn't anymore look like we're in a bull run, does it? I don't think so. That means some of our expectations in our fundamental analysis have been invalidated, okay? Because some of us had this opinion that in crypto, you could actually hit it big. And there was a whole lot of attention geared towards the bull run, such that I know some people who sold their lands, who borrowed money, who took the money that they kept for retirement, and they put them into crypto because they think it's going to give them opportunity to blow, okay? But here we are right now. Trump is president, the market and the stocks, they're all down. All our expectations, every single thing is down the drain for now. At least that's how it seems. Why am I saying this? Because we need to understand the opportunity, the vast opportunities that are available for young people in this industry. Trading crypto or holding digital asset is just a small part of that opportunity that is out there. There's so much more that is available for any of you for you guys to do. For instance, let's take a look at career pathways that can enable you to future-proof yourself in the emerging future. And Jude, you mentioned something about AI. Look, many people who are in this room who are not yet utilizing these AI tools, they are already at a disadvantage. I think yesterday, Anthropic released Sonnet 3.7, an incredibly smart model that thinks and does fantastic things that can help you to be faster in delivery of any of your jobs that you have or tasks that you have. That you are in crypto or blockchain does not exclude you from other innovators, because all of them are united. You could use AI to build predictive engines easily, assuming that holding digital asset is one of the things that you want to do, and you could do them. We had this conversation for this panel since yesterday, but I didn't sleep till probably around 3 a.m. because when I began to utilize Cloud Sonnet 3.7 Thinker for the applications I was building, I couldn't get up on my chairs because the speed of response, the accuracy of the outputs and all that makes you more like a superpower. So if you are young here, I believe most of you are young, you should actually take advantage of these innovations and turn yourself into some kind of superhuman. It gives you superpower. Innovative technologies empowers you to do the impossible.
Wow, that's the man there speaking about balancing blockchain and other aspects of the tech industry and making use of AI to get better and actually, in his words, become a superhuman in whatever it is that you are doing. Well, on her own speech, Head of Public Policy, Anglophone West Africa, Sade Dada, talked about ethics and the need for cultural context and content to be adapted in the creation of AI tools. Take a listen to Sade Dada.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you to the organizers, Mr. Charles, for having me and inviting Meta to participate in this important conversation. So I've been told that I'm doing a lightning talk. That means I have to go lightning fast. I have to be quite quick. When they told me that I will be talking about the topic of ethics and creating AI that really reflects Africa, I was so ecstatic because, AI is the sexy thing to be talking about right now, right? You'll agree. Every conference, everything that you're doing at work, if you want to score extra points, just go ahead and add AI in there. But what are we really talking about? When I think of AI, I'm thinking about the potential of AI to transform lives. Okay, that's the core of what we, at least the work I'm doing at Meta, is all about. So our responsibility as a company is to build AI technology, foundational technology that can then be used and adopted across various countries, across various platforms. And what is at the core of that really is ensuring that the tools and the technology that we create are actually open sourced and available for all. Otherwise, we have a situation where those who have the money, that have the power, that have all the skill sets, kind of hoard that for themselves. That is not the model that we take as a company. What we do is we create things like our large language model called Llama and open source it in such a way that everyone has access to be able to utilize it, to build on top of it, to come up with new platforms and solutions that leverage those technologies that we construct. And this, in a way, democratizes access to technology and the benefits that it enables.
Great perspective there by Sade Dada, bringing the perspective of ethics and how there is a need for innovators and entrepreneurs in the tech space to take into cognizance the African context when creating AI tools to be used in Africa and by Africans. Next, speaking in another panel session, Mr. Idowu Akinde, who is the MD of Impact Hub Lagos, pointed out the uniqueness of the problems in the African tech scene and the complexities of navigating through these problems in the creation of solutions. Let's listen to Mr. Akinde as he gave his words there.
Actually thinking about the unique nature of problems in Africa. Perhaps collaboration is even more of an imperative for us because of the unique nature. And let me explain. So, the first wave of e-commerce startups, Jumia, Konga, and the rest, spent tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars on that wave, only to discover later that everywhere that e-commerce has succeeded around the world required a stable infrastructure, logistics infrastructure, right, layer, like an operating system. And so, the problems in Africa are such that you are trying to solve e-commerce, then you discover that you need to take a segue and solve logistics. You're trying to solve health tech, then you need to discover that you need to solve renewable energy because you are in a village or a rural area. Is this not a case for collaboration, right? So even just thinking about the basic nature of the kinds of problems that we are blessed with, right? Because I like to see problems as blessings in disguise, right? If we don't collaborate, we probably won't solve anything, right? So if I may come from that angle, I hope does that answer your question.
Meanwhile, Mr. Jude Ogene, who is the founder of Charles Winsborough, spoke on the capacity building and how partnerships can be established across boards to commercialize AI research in Nigeria. Let's hear from him.
And for those of you who were in the hall for VC Okoli's talk, I would just like to second everything that he said because I think it applies very directly to this question. In other words, let's start with the obvious and things that are actually happening on the ground as we speak, which has to do with establishing innovation hubs, places where you can collaborate around entrepreneurship, where you are, it's an amalgamation of all stakeholders, including business and academia, right? That is something that I'm very gratified to hear that universities such as ASUT are doing. And in a personal point of privilege, I just want to say, I mentioned it to the VC earlier, but a long time ago, my father was the Dean of Law at ASUT, so nice. Very happy to see what you guys are doing. But let's move from that, from sort of the obvious and the low-hanging fruit, to other innovative ideas. So
for sake of time, I'll just give you one more highlight from the sessions at the Omniverse Summit. In his own keynote speech, the German Consul General to Lagos, talking about Mr. Wirt Bonner, spoke on local innovation and how local innovation can be scaled for global transformation. Let's listen to the German Consul General to Lagos, Wirt Bonner.
Nations, and you compare it with so-called emerging economies, be it Nigeria or Mexico or Vietnam, then you can see one big difference when you talk about classical manufacturing, about the energy sector, or about productive agriculture. Those old industrialized nations may still have an advantage. But if you look at the digital economy, then countries like Nigeria, with a large share of young population that grew up with a digitalized environment, they have the advantage, I would argue. And I can give you concrete examples, just two of them right now. One is, look at your banking sector. The Nigerian best business banks, they introduced certain...
That's the German Consul General to Lagos, Mr. Wirt Bonner, speaking on how local innovation can be put in the right use to aid global transformation. So much conversation coming out from the Omniverse Africa Summit. Now also speaking, Isioma Idibe from Punuka Attorneys and Solicitors Limited gave a perspective and a highlight on the recent government interventions and strategies to scale AI innovation in the country, pointing out the policies of the Nigerian government and how the plans are on the way to scale AI across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. Well, so much conversations right there at the Omniverse Africa Summit. These were just snippets from the entire sessions, the panel sessions, the fireside chats, and the keynote speeches that we had at the Omniverse Africa Summit. And I must say, there is so much indeed to look forward to in the tech space, in the tech scene in Nigeria, and indeed Africa, especially in this year 2025 and moving forward. I want to believe that the momentum that has been raised in these events will go a long way to propel Nigeria and of course Africa towards becoming more globally competitive in economy and every other aspect. I'm sure you've had an insightful time watching Tech Insights today here on Spectrum TV. Of course, today's episode of the show was a special one with focus on events, and I'm sure you got one or two insights from those speeches right there. Till I come your way, same time, same station. Do well to catch up on previous episodes on our YouTube channel, Spectrum Television, and also follow us on our social media handles. My name is Samuel Ugochukwu. Have a beautiful weekend. Happy New Month. Bye for now.